The Lord has called us to be fruitful and to multiply. So we're going to be meeting on a monthly basis for those disciples who would like to gather together. And we're going to talk about what it means to be a flourishing disciple and how I can flourish in my faith. So just as we have formation for our youth called Flourishing Disciples, we're going to offer the same thing in English and also in Spanish. On Tuesday, September 9th at 7:30 p.m., we're going to gather here at Casa San Roberto, and we're going to talk about flourishing disciples. What does that look like? Flourishing happens in the context of a process, right? How did I get so fat, and how am I not flourishing, right? By consistently eating a little bit too much on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, and year after year after year, day after day, having a process of getting fat, right? How do I lose weight? By doing the exact opposite, of having a process of gaining better health. And so we're going to talk in the same way about how do we grow in virtue spiritually? How do we as individuals and as families and as a church and as a community flourish? And what are the processes that we need to put in place in order to flourish? So we're going to be going over what's called a rule of life. A rule of life is how do I go about flourishing on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. And then we'll look at the saints. We're going to look at the processes that they put in place for their own sanctification. And then we're going to look at ourselves and hold ourselves accountable with a group of friends. How do I grow in my relationship with the Lord? How do I become a saint? How do I flourish? How do I live my life in such a way that I can pass through the narrow gate and enter into the kingdom of heaven? So please set your calendars if you'd like to sign up. Please sign up. We're going to have online registration available for Flourishing Disciples, September 9th, 7:30 p.m. There's no cost for this at all. All you need is a journal, your Bible, and then your catechism. And then all those will be all the tools that we need to be able to be flourishing disciples. So thank you so much for joining us today, and may God continue to bless you, and may you be a flourishing disciple.